I'm gonna fuck you up. I can edit this out.
Okay, anyway.
Whoa! No balls!
Oh, no balls?
We're talking about
balls!
What's up, everybody? We're here with my friend Tyler, who yesterday did something. What did you do, Tyler?
I won ARG stakes.
So, let's go ahead and see what deck you're using.
Messiahs.
Alright, what made you use this deck?
Well, it was either this or Asha, and considering with all the control decks around, and I know that Asha has more resist stuff now, but honestly, Gridora, I had a few problems with that. So, this was the better option. So, here's my starter. I used Neon Messiah. It was a quick change, honestly. Before I had the other one that was in the most recent trial deck. But I found this one to be a bit more useful because, well, having Struck Fodder is good. And with it, it would let me run less grade 3s than I would normally have to run without it. So, that's the starter. For grade 3s, first I ran 4 Alter Ego Neo Messiah.
Ooh, look at that hot stamp.
Yes, he's shiny. You always want to be on him. You never want to be on Old Messiah because this combos with the new stuff way better than the old one. Plus, you don't have to rely on having rear guards on the board for him because you just place one from your hand on board when you stride. Plus, you just Soul Blast 1, draw 2 at the end of your turn as long as you unlock the thing with the card effect, and it's GB2. Next, as much as I was shitting on him before, you do need to run him for the Messiah name, basically. He is always going to be your last resort. If you can avoid riding him, do it for all God.
Don't you be all Messiah? For himself's sake?
You're funny. There's no more to be said about him.
So, with the Stargate booster coming out, are you going to change your 3s up?
Yes! Yes, I am. And I say that as aggressive as possible because Alter Ego and Messiah needs to go. And Ideal, I believe, is the better one to replace him with. Alright, next up are the 2s. I ran 2 Metallic Messiah. This is another change I just added recently, and I have to say, it was very useful. For one, with all the locking and unlocking plays you do, he just buffs up really well. Plus, I actually ran into a Link Joker mirror match with it, and they were so mad because they couldn't do anything to him because his skill prevents him from being locked. So he just stayed on the board, taunting my Chaos Breaker opponent. And this also combos well with another 2 I added, which is Awakening Messiah. He actually combos well with, if you happen to have an arrestor on board that you just happen to use already and you can't lock him, you could just make sure you lock this guy, unlock him, restand him, goes for another attack. And you can also restand this guy for another big number attack. So these 2 ultimately combo well with each other. Alright, moving on. Necessity, I would say, is for Arrestor Messiah. He is amazing on getting you to do your major stride turns. For example, this guy here. But we'll get into him later. When he's placed on rear guard, if you have a Messiah Vanguard, he gets +2, GB1, and at the end of his battle that he attacks, you lock himself and lock a back row. So it's 2 things locked on board already. Next up, I would say, is the last of our grade 2s. It's Lady Fencer of Matter Transmission.
The snack!
Yeah, she is a delight because... Okay, so what she does is that when she's placed on rear guard, or if she's unlocked, if you have a Messiah Vanguard, she gets +2. So, you place her on rear guard or you unlock her, she's always going to be 11. And then on attack, GB1, Counter Blast 1, Soul Charge 1. At the end of a battle that she attacked, lock herself, and that's it. She's mainly great for... Oh, and she gets +5. She's mainly good because, say you place her on rear, you swing for 16, you lock her, then you attack with one of your Messiah Vanguards, you unlock her, she's 11 again, then you attack with 16 again, then you lock her. Then there's other combos that you can do with that, so first she unlocks, and then you can just attack again. It's just a bunch of attacks. You get a bunch of soul charge too, which helps with your Messiah plays. And then now on our grade 1s, I'd run to Dunamis Messiah, which he also eats up the soul, which is another thing you use Fencer for. And here's another unlock play that you can do. What he does is that at the end of the battle that he boosts, you can Soul Blast 1 and lock himself. You can choose a locked card and unlock it, and then the unlock thing that you unlocked gets +4. So, with transmission, I just said, attack, she locks herself, you boost with this thing, Soul Blast 1, you unlock her, then she can attack again. Just mainly there for the combo play. I don't really have another grade 1 that I would replace with him, so I would say that he's the better thing to have as a 2-of. Next up is a staple, is 4 Sacrifice Messiah. He's also good for getting your combo pieces off because you always want to make sure you have as much locked cards on either player's board as possible. So what he does is that when anything is locked, whether it be your rear guard or your opponent's rear guard, you can lock himself, counter charge, and then give something +3. So on your defensive plays, say you go into G guard with Maxwell or something, you lock one of your back row, and then you can use Sacrifice a skill to lock itself, counter charge, and then you give your Vanguard +3. So it's good for a defensive play or an offensive play, depending on how you can use it. There's just a variety of ways you can use this card with. And then another of our staples is 4 Destiny Dealer, or Stride Enabler. Not much to say about that. You run 4, you need 4. You're at 7 grade 3s, so it's pretty much a necessity. You can't use Neon Messiah unless you get the Stride, so that's the end of that explanation. And then, last but not least, of our grade 1s is our Perfect Guards. I use this one over the damage on Flipper, mainly because Sacrifice pretty much does all the damage and flipping I need, so I don't really need it. Plus, this comes in pretty clutch because since I'm using other grade 2s for like Awakening and Metalla, I don't have as many things that I can use to lock. So this is pretty good to have. So I can just lock 2, find her, and then I draw a card. So it's pretty nice. Gets me cards and it gets me locked cards. Right, now for our trigger lineup.
So talent features here and kind device.
I run 9
crits. Can you take them out of the system?
4 of them being blank, which is an attack with the Messiah Vanguard. Goes into Soul, +5 draw.
The Persona crit.
Yep, which is a necessity. And here is Paladinium, or Paradigm. Sorry. What he does is normally he would work with better with the Starvader name, but you can still use his skill to put him back to deck as long as your opponent has a lock card. So you just put triggers back to deck just because. Just make sure you have a lock card. And it's a shark.
It's a Starvader shark.
Actually, it's just a shark.
It's a space shark.
There you go. And then next I play 3 draw. You want to play the on soul draw because you always have a lot of soul things to transmission, but having this too makes it so you could have your power for more plays or more soul if you are feeling full with Dunamis, or if you happen to be on Alter Ego, you know, just in case. And last but not least, I play 4 heal. I never got to have the 2 other heals of this, but with Galaxy coming out, I won't even need that anymore, so I got that going for me.
Yeah, but you gotta pay $20 a pop.
Yeah, I don't have that going for me. Alright, last but not least is the G-Zone. Start off with our big guy, Harmonics Modular Messiah, run of 2. Before I only had one, but I was recently able to acquire a second one, which has helped me greatly. Just use one to put a lot of pressure onto your opponents, so odds are with this play, you're either going to get them to 4 or 5 damage, so on your next turn you can do a second one, so you'll just finish him off then. For those of you who don't know his skill, what he does is that on attack, on GB3, you flip up a G unit, and you unlock everything on the board. Everything. That includes your opponent's board too. Which sounds like a drag, I know, but there's a lot of benefits with it. If 5 or more were unlocked, like everywhere on the board, he gets the ability to, when he attacks, your opponent can't guard with Grey Mode or higher. And for every unlocked card, he gets +5. And then for every unlocked card, and for all the unlocked things on your board, all the things that were unlocked on your board get +5. So you get to attack with all your stuff again, even bigger, and you got perfect guard blocking big guy to worry about.
Does it restrict guard from hand or just guard period?
Just guard from hand. So
okay, so you can still G-guard.
Yeah, you can still G-guard.
Okay.
Although there's not many G-guards that can buff themselves up enough to where they can block this guy. Which is why making sure that you have as many locked cards on the board as possible when you play him is a necessity. One Assisity Messiah. I never really had to use him during the tournament. He was mainly flip-up fodder for Neo Messiah. What he does is on attack, +1, unlock as many things as possible. If you unlock 3 or more, then he gets a crit. And for everything that he does unlock, he gets +3. So it ain't bad. Next is for Basaltus Messiah.
Bat salts.
He's mainly the guy you want to go on your first stride with, because you get to lock more of your opponent's board, and you get more cards in your hand. What he does is, on attack, counter +1, flip up a copy of him. You get to choose up to 1 of your rear guards and up to 1 of your opponent's rear guards and lock them or unlock them. And if you unlock something, then you get to draw a card. And this skill depends on how many have you face up in the G zone. So if you have 1 face up in the G, then you get to unlock 1 and lock 1. So keep that in mind. It's pretty good with your combo plays to where you can just keep on attacking. Next up is for Modular Messiah. I would have ran, what's his name? Well, we call him Spaghetti Messiah.
Yeah, Spaghetti. Everybody calls it Spaghetti Messiah.
Yeah, well.
It's Transel's, but.
Yeah, I would have ran that over instead. I would have just done 2 Fadge and 2 of that, but I didn't have that luxury, so it was just 4 Fadge. I never really had to use him either. There was never really a good time for me to do it. Like, I never really had a wrestler in my hand to do it with, or when I did have a wrestler in hand, it just never really felt like a good time to do it because I really needed a hand more, and Basaltus would have done better with that. And he locks 1 units. Omega locking is cool and all, but he's just your last resort thing, let's just say that. Then Seabreeze, and Assisity.
Yeah, every G deck.
So you all know, I'm sure, know what he does. And G guards, I will run the flip guard. What she does is kind of +1, flip a G guard face up. Lock as many of your cards as possible, of your rear guards as possible. And, well, up to 3, I think. Yeah, it is up to 3. Up to 3 of your rear guards. And for each rear guard that you lock, your opponent has to lock a rear guard in their back row. So, you can lock 2 of your guys, and they have to lock 2 of their back row. And then you can do a play with Sacrifice, to where you can lock itself, countercharge, keep your Vanguard +3. So you already have some lock cards on the board for your Harmonics play. Next up is Destiny Dealer.
Sounds like we're going home with Denzel.
Destiny Dealer is when it's placed on G guard, well, the guarding circle, you can choose 2 of your rear guards and unlock them. Well, choose 2 any rear guards and unlock them. And if you do, he gets +10 shield. I only really had to use this when I had to face Chaos Breaker, which, yeah, it was about the only time I had to use it. I know there's a combo you can play with this where you go with G-Guard with this, and then G-Guard with this, and just unlock the stuff you unlock yourself. But I never really had an opportunity to do that. And next I play Lady Healer as from the trial deck. What she does is when she's placed on Guardian Circle, you can Soul Blast 1. If there's a lock card on board, anywhere on board, doesn't have to be you, doesn't have to be your opponent, just as long as there's one on the board. Gets +5 in shield. And then if you have a Messiah Vanguard, she gets another +5 in shield. So just 36k if you have a lock card on the board, which just the cost of Soul Blast. And last but not least, for our last G-Guard, Maxwell. What he does is, when he's placed on the Guardian Circle, you can lock a thing on your back row, and he gets +5 in shield. So another thing you can do your sacrifice plays with. And just pretty good overall with defense. And that's it for the deck.
So, when the set releases this coming Friday, what are you going to change about the deck?
I'll take out Amnesty Messiah, and I would take out Flagellate Messiah. I would get 2 Integral to add to that. And what else was there? Or no, wait, I would keep 2 Vag in there. I would take out 2 Vag and play 2 Integral. And that was what I would change for the G-Zone. I would change up, for G-Guards, I would change up Maxwell. And for the new G-Guard, that's a rare. I may change Neon Messiah back to Orion, I don't know. I would have to playtest a bit more. For grade 3s, I would take out him, Alter Ego definitely, because Ideal honestly is way better as a rear guard. Grade 2s, I haven't really thought about grade 2s that much. Maybe I would take out Awakening for the new grade 2 guy, I forget what he does. Grade 1s would stay the same. And triggers, honestly, I would say the same too, except for the heals, I would get more of those. And that's about it.
Why do my friends have to be fucktards?
I don't know, it's just the way it is, I guess.
The whole time.
So, yep, that's it.
Welcome.
Alright. Later, guys.